So an enthusiastic crowd to celebrate the return of Howard Kendall, who named 5 of his new signings to face Birmingham City. Now let's join our new commentator, Martin Tyler, who's got the team details.
It was the Everton back four that gave Howard Kendall most concern in his first team selection. John Bailey, the final piece in that jigsaw, edging out Kevin Ratcliffe at left back. Alan Ainscough and Mickey Thomas add width to a midfield for which Kendall considered himself, but plumped instead for Trevor Ross. And up front it was a case of which of the 2 new strikers would partner last year's top scorer Peter Eastoe. Mick Ferguson is the unlucky one today, and he's the substitute. But it's not just Everton who parade the new names. Tony Van Mierlo is a forward who has played 3 times for Holland. Van Mierlo joined Birmingham in the summer from the Dutch club Willem II. So too did Bud Brocken, a 23-year-old winger who 2 years ago was voted the most promising player of the year in Holland. Jim Smith also signed Neil Watmore from Bolton last night, but too late for inclusion today. And Birmingham are also without Alan Kirbishley, who's not fit, and Frank Worthington, who's still in America. And this week, both Joe Gallagher and Keith Birchin were sold. So there is a place in today's attack for Tony Evans, born here in Liverpool. Evans, though, still in dispute with the club, and at the moment on a week-to-week contract. Howard Kendall deciding to watch the first half at least from a seat in the stand. And amid a great air of optimism, the new season at Goodison Park is underway. Birmingham City in the all-light strip, a change strip of all yellow, defending the goal to the left in the first half. And the referee, George Courtney, who oddly enough was in charge here at the last home game of last season. Mike Walsh, and the first touch for Jim Arnold. The pitch in good condition after heavy renovations during the close season, and it's a rather steamy, sultry afternoon. John Bailey. Here's Hartford. A touch from Eastoe. And Billy Wright arriving. Hartford playing it forward, touched off by Eastoe, and it came through finally for Billy Wright, who shot under pressure. Kevin Dillon breaks here for Broadhurst, held up by Evans. And the shot from Van Mierlo struck Evans, indeed struck a defender, and Birmingham City get the corner. And Bud Brocken has gone across to take it. Hawker up on the near post for Birmingham, and it comes for Hawker and Van Mierlo. So Birmingham, with 4 minutes of the new season gone, worked the set piece, and Van Mierlo puts one past Jim Arnold in the 4th minute of his Birmingham City career. So Tony Van Mierlo, bought to pep up Birmingham City's attack, has made a perfect start. And suddenly the mood of euphoria here at Goodison Park lapses into some of the tension from the back end of last season, when Everton lost 4 of their last 5 home games in the First Division. Lyons is forward at the free kick, and Ainscough. Is offside. So nearly the old adage of getting caught when he'd just scored a goal, finding Birmingham out, and Alan Ainscoe's joy turning to disappointment. So, on a day when so many of this big crowd at Goodison Park have come to see new faces in Everton colours, it's the two new Dutchmen who combine for Birmingham City. Rockham's corner and Milo's goal. But George Courtney reaches for the notebook to record the name of David Langan for the late tackle on Mickey Thomas. This time Dennis closer to Ainscoe. But Everton have the free kick. There's a tendency in Mark Dennis's game to dive in positions might be regarded as unnecessary. Bailey went for placement. Just had the snap sight of goal and placed it wide of the post. An authoritative header from Lyons. Ross almost taking too long and having the strength to withstand Van Mierlo's challenge. Looking to get it back from Bailey. Bailey again. Ainscoe getting behind them now. And Alan Ainscoe. A goal that will bring him particular joy. Inside that far post, and 11 minutes gone, Everton are level. It's Everton's free kick. As Wright looks up, he'll see Mike Lyons forward around the penalty spot, joining Bailey. And Lyons makes it. And Ainscoe, and it's a penalty. Against Hawker for handball. Lyons making contact with the header. Ross couldn't make it, and it was handball there by Hawker. And there was some debate in the dressing room as to who would be entrusted with the penalties. Everton had a number of players who missed last season. Trevor Ross was one of them, although he always fancies the job. Asa Hartford was the incumbent at the end of last season, and it's Hartford who steps up now, and Whelans makes the save, and moved in doing so. So George Courtney pointed straight back to the spot. Hartford looking to place it to the goalkeeper's left now, and Whelans was on his way. Now Howard Kendall told me earlier this week that he would like Alan Bailey to take them. Bailey, you can see there on the edge of the area, and certainly involved in a conversation with Hartford, but perhaps bowing to seniority and turning away. So it becomes a battle of wits again between Jeff Whelans and Asa Hartford. And Whelans wins, this time at the expense of a corner, but there's no doubt in the referee's mind. And Jeff Whelans, who was 30 years old earlier this week, celebrates with a double penalty save. So Thomas will take the corner. And Whelan's with a much easier task. So Asa Hartford joins the catalogue of Everton players who have missed from the spot. Here's Walsh. Ainscough had checked wide. Walker's header away. But the whistle that goes is for the end of an entertaining and highly eventful first half, with 2 goals in the first 11 minutes. Tony Van Mierlo putting Birmingham in front, Alan Ainscough equalising, but the scoreline staying at 1-1 thanks to Jeff Whelan's twice thwarting Asa Hartford from the penalty spot. And Hartford in the end choosing the second time to go the same way. Whelan's reading his mind and pushing it round the post, and it's 1-1 at half-time. So, certainly enough in the first 45 minutes to suggest that 3 points for a win might have influenced the manager's philosophies. 2 goals, 1 apiece, and the opportunity for several more. And maybe it's been that both sides have attacked rather better than they've defended. Mike Thomas, who gives Everton that shape in midfield, with 4 strung across the park and responsibilities on a wider front for him. Bailey's header. Both sides, of course, with great local pressures on them. Hardly need saying what they are on Everton. But in terms of Birmingham City, very much secondary citizens in the area with the success of Aston Villa last year. Eastoe might make something here, and as he goes down, as Birmingham hesitated at the back, George Courtney well placed to give the decision right on the edge of that Birmingham penalty area. And Birmingham have everyone back behind the ball. So Ross and Thomas are the players over the ball, as Everton go about their work and trying to disrupt the line of defenders, and Ross strikes it. Gemmell was out quickly to block it. So power from Ross, but he couldn't find a way through. Right, coming off the near post where Lyons is as well. And it's Eastoe who finishes it off. So last year's top scorer has opened his account. And just as Birmingham did at the start of the second half, Everton score from a corner. Touched on by Lyons, and it's Peter Eastoe there for just that flick on to get it over the line. Broadhurst staying down again as Ainscough takes it up for Everton. Looks for Hartford. Put out by Todd. A little flare-up a moment or two ago between Broadhurst and Wright. It continued off the ball. But here's Bailey. And Broadhurst touching it away from Thomas. And ball by Dillon. And Everton take the free kick quickly. And Kevin Dillon is the player being spoken to by the referee. So Birmingham face another examination in the air. Whelan's coming this time, Lyons getting there first, and Ainscough lost his bearings at the crucial moment. And this time the defenders left it to the goalkeeper, and it didn't work for Birmingham. Whelan's came, but didn't make it. It's Bud Brocken who goes off, and the substitute, another of the young brigade at Birmingham, Ian Handysides, who's 18. Ainscough, who's still full of running. And has he got the legs here of Dennis? He has, but he hasn't got the composure to finish it off. Maybe it would be asking too much of a fairy tale to punish the club that you've left with 2 goals. But he judged the bounce better, he kept his balance better, and then screwed the shot horribly wide. And Bailey clearly onside against Hawker. Ainscough in the middle if Bailey needs the help. Well, he did so well, and it would have been the perfect finale to his endeavours in his first league game for Everton. Jeff Whelan's hurt in the collision, but the ball rolled invitingly across the face of the goal by Bailey, and Ainscough couldn't quite get there. Thomas with the socks now down and rather epitomising the way a player feels towards the end of their first league game of the season. A weary look. Mickey Thomas, who used to stand behind the goal to our right as a lad, as an Everton supporter. Here's Eastoe. Bailey wants it in the middle. Broadhurst gets it forward. Hartford. And Bailey is clear and onside. And Alan Bailey ices the cake. Well, Birmingham have threatened to be undone in that way several times in this second half. And they were caught square again. Bailey timed his run to perfection, and the lob was beautifully delivered. Dillon with the free kick. Van Mierlo wins the corner. Comes here for Handysides. And it was Evans who had the flick. Handysides again. Broadhurst was stooping in. It was Ross who made contact for Everton. Well, from the Everton point of view, the scoreline could have looked less impressive. But Howard Kendall starts his regime here with a victory, and a victory that brings 3 points at that. And he'll be pleased, as the supporters will be as well, that 2 of his new signings got themselves on the score sheet. Alan Bailey wrapping up the 3-1 victory after Alan Ainscough had equalised the early goal from Van Mierlo. Peter Eastoe, the other scorer, and Everton win against Birmingham City by 3-1. There's a different look to Everton's midfield today because of a hamstring injury to Alan Ainscough. Steve McMahon is recalled, which means that Trevor Ross is switched to a wider role. And Eamon O'Keefe, who scored as a substitute in midweek against Notts County, now plays from the start in place of Peter Eastoe, who hasn't shaken off a Friday morning training injury. Albion's problems are in the centre of their defence, with both John Wile's natural partners, Alistair Robertson and Martin Bennett, unfit. So Brian Robson takes on that role after missing 2 games with a bruised foot. Gary Owen is also fit again, and there's also a place for 20-year-old Nicky Cross. There's been so much rain, in fact, that the referee asked for the pitch lines to be remarked shortly before the kick-off. West Bromwich Albion in this first half defending the goal to our left, looking to end a run of 4 games without a goal. Mills again the target. Dropped for Steve McMahon. Mackenzie for Andy King. Here's Cross. Starting a league game for only the 2nd time. Playing the 1-2 with King. And Nicky Cross going on. And good handling from Jim Arnold. The greasy conditions helping goalkeepers as Cross swept it in. Touch from McMahon as he was being held by John Wile. Here's Lyons driving forward. Well, it drew an ooh from the crowd. I don't think Tony Godden was too worried. Always passing over the Albion bar. The header from right. Albion feeling they've been playing well enough in the middle of the field and making chances. Concerned, of course, that their run has gone for some 6 hours of football without a goal. Collision that was spectacular between Batson and Ratcliffe. Batson has come off slightly the worse. Here's Steve McMahon. Now Ross. Thomas calling for it and getting it. Leaving David Mills. Biley's gone to the near post, and it's Biley with the spectacular effort. Alan Biley at the moment looking to recapture the impact that he made in the opening 2 games of the season for Everton when he scored in both those games. But Mickey Thomas picking him out well here. The volley just hooked wide. Is he quick to close down Hartford when he's in possession? And King doing the same. Here's Cross, and it's Mills meeting it, and the flag was up. As David Mills got ahead of his marker, scored a penalty on the opening day of the season, but really hasn't recaptured the scoring form he showed at Middlesbrough. While reading the attention of Thomas, but the smaller man strikes back. Hartford. Here's O'Keefe. Now Ratcliffe. And Biley. A deep cross from Kevin Ratcliffe and a clean jump from Biley. So the 2 Everton attempts in the first 25 minutes of any consequence have both come from Alan Biley. Mills doing well to ease it on here for Cross. And it deflects off Walsh, and so close to deflecting inside that near post. Cross was content really just to drive it across as a shot come ball into the path of Regis, who was arriving, but The deflection off Walsh. Nicky Cross with the corner. And it goes behind again off Mike Lyons. Weil coming off the near post, and Ross was there for Everton. And McMahon, not the cleanest of headers. Forward from Nicky Cross. John Weil had stayed forward, and Mills couldn't collect the header. As competitive as ever, but O'Keefe rifling it into the net, but the whistle had gone, and that may explain Tony Godden's rather half-hearted efforts to stop the shot, but the crowd certainly enjoyed it. And you can just see the referee blowing the whistle as O'Keefe let fly. It's a free kick that Hartford takes, and Statham clears. Out from Weil. This is Billy Wright, and it'll break here for O'Keefe, but not into his stride. And tidied up calmly by Nicky Cross. Conceding the corner. Been one or two uncertain moments in this opening half hour for Everton. This time Gary Owen has gone across to take the corner with his left foot. For Batson, and here's Regis trying to collect, and he did the difficult part and couldn't produce the shot. It was a superb piece of control, and then as it dropped to be struck at goal, Regis got it all wrong. And Thomas offside. Just a back flick from Regis, and almost made something for Mills. King going on, Andy King for David Mills, and again Albion halted by an offside call. But Andy King, just for a moment, working himself into a position where perhaps a debut goal against his old club was on the cards, opted instead to reverse it inside for Mills. Mr. Huff wants a word after an off-the-ball incident between McMahon and King. Andy King, who was such a popular player here with the fans. Hartford unable to collect, but Lyons putting on enough pressure to bring Everton a corner. Curled in by Thomas. Godden's punch was solid. Thomas again. O'Keefe, good goalkeeping. Here's Bailey. Everton looking to keep up the impetus with Walsh. O'Keefe, and time for Statham. but it was Eamon O'Keefe a moment or two earlier whose little flick header there produced good reflexes from Tony Godden. Swept wide by David Mills to the path here of Owen. Three waiting in the middle for Albion, and here's Statham. Struck Steve McMahon, who was able to readjust. Looking to pick a way through. And Walsh has to put it out. But before the corner can be used to any profit, the half-time whistle goes. A goalless first half in which there has been much to admire in Albion's work in midfield, where Andy King has settled in well, but a rather disjointed first 45 minutes from Everton. Half-time at Goodison Park, Everton 0, West Bromwich Albion. I expect Everton to hope to create more from the middle of the field against a West Bromwich Albion side who still haven't solved their current dilemma, that of putting the ball in the opposition's net. Lyons. Mackenzie easily winning it back for Albion. Regis lets it run, and Mills onside, in against Arnold, and the goalkeeper comes out on top. And it's driven back by Owen. But another opportunity passes West Bromwich Albion by. Everton will feel that Mills was offside in the first place, but the flag stayed down. But the fact that Albion have gone so long without a goal seemed to play a part in David Mills's mind. He wanted to make sure. Given away by Ratcliffe. Regis taking too long and allowing Walsh to effect the recovery. Mills could drop for him again, and Arnold getting his body behind it, although the handling wasn't totally clean. David Mills wasting no time as the ball dropped for him, snatching the shot. Flag up again. The referee allowing play to go on. The flag was for offside. Owen, it's up again. The referee ignores the offside flag. Here's Mills. Some confusion between the officials then. I think the first time the judgment was that the Albion player wasn't interfering with play. When it went up a second time, the referee didn't see it. Caught by Robson and reacted angrily to the tackle. And here's Batson. Regis' shot, the chance for Owen, it's in the net, and it's offside. So West Bromwich Albion must wonder what they've got to do to get a goal chalked up. Mills played it in, Batson kept running. Watch Regis arrive here. It comes off Arnold. Owen plants it in, but an offside decision says it doesn't count. And Jim Arnold didn't escape the legacy of that collision with Cyril Regis, although he can smile about it. And Howard Kendall has come down from his seat in the stand. One wonders whether he was thinking of changing the Everton pattern anyway with the introduction of McBride. As Everton now look to make their substitution. Steve McMahon being called off to be replaced by Joe McBride. Ross. Getting it back from O'Keefe. Riley through the middle, and here's McBride. naturally left-sided. Getting a free kick for obstruction. First touch that almost came too quickly for Joe McBride, attuning to the pace of the game. He held possession long enough to find himself fouled. Hartford over the ball. Lions scores! Well, they've waited some time in this game to have something to cheer about, but Mike Lyons provides it. Clip free kick, Lyons ducking his head, getting in first, and it ends up in the back of the net. "21 minutes played in the second half. Here's Owen. Albion have a free kick in an almost identical position. And it's John Weil diving in. Weil, who was the player running with Lyons as Albion conceded the goal. And looks to redress the situation. Hartford. McBride, beautifully away from Batson. Regular, of course, for much of last season, Joe McBride, with a place to really play for now. Corner entrusted to Ross. Right, so close. A back flick from Billy Wright. Walsh. Finally went out of Thomas. Everton with this back flick from Billy Wright, thwarted by fine work from Godden and the crossbar. Thomas with a touch. Statham playing it straight to Ross as he gifted it. Well, it won't count. Bailey was in an offside position. How relieved Derek Statham will be, because he was here with nowhere to go. But you look at the position there of Alan Bailey. Lyons. Owen finding the bounce too much for him. His disallowed goal now looking even more significant. Bailey making it back for Statham. Statham just checking as Weil makes his way forward again. This is Mills. Ross. And it's O'Keefe against Batson. And McBride in acres of space on the far side. Batson still doing the covering. And McBride so close to a spectacular goal on the break. And McBride has it again from a poor clearance by Godden. And Bailey turns it wide and appeals for a corner. Everton breaking initially here with O'Keefe, showing good vision. McBride opting, as he saw Batson coming across, to try the shot. he's seen it as well. Came off Bailey. Mills. Here's Statham. Perhaps the last chance now for Albion. Owen, thwarted by Thomas. And Everton are now only injury time away from their second home victory of the week. While beaten by Ratcliffe, Bailey's job really is to make Batson play it back. Fouls him in the process. So it's still not over. Regis. And right, it's one that the fans appreciate. It's certainly the highest of the day. John Weil up for the long throw again. Uses cross instead. But the throw-in is taken too long, and the Everton supporters salute a victory provided by one of the club's most loyal servants, Mike Lyons. Header in the end, the difference between the two sides. Everton still really short of the consistency that Howard Kendall will demand. And as for West Bromwich Albion, they must trudge off to the dressing room, having now gone 7.5 hours of football without a goal. 23-year-old Neville Southall is called up by Everton for his first appearance in the First Division. He was brought into the side just an hour before the kickoff when Jim Arnold failed the test on a hip injury. But Southall is not fully fit himself. He plays with a damaged ankle. In attack, Eamon O'Keefe partners Mick Ferguson. O'Keefe preferred to Alan Bailey, with Joe McBride supplying the service from the left. Trevor Ross wears the number 10 shirt, vacated by Asa Hartford. And in the centre of the defence, Mike Walsh is fit again to replace Mark Higgins. For Mick Ferguson, facing Ipswich Town brings back happy memories. In his last game against Ipswich for Coventry City, he scored 4 times. But that was almost 2 years ago, and Ferguson came here to Everton in the summer, hoping to put behind him 18 months of incessant injury problems. For Ipswich, Mick Mills and Paul Mariner have shrugged off injuries that kept them out of the midweek England get-together, and Franz Tyson and Arnold Muren have returned unscathed from helping Holland improve their World Cup chances on Wednesday. So it's the same side which beat Wolves last Saturday when Kevin O'Callaghan scored his first senior goal for Ipswich. O'Callaghan will be 20 on Monday, and he's kept his place today specifically to test out Gary Stevens, Everton's right-back, who's only 18, but who has been very impressive in his 2 previous first-team appearances. So the First Division leaders kick off today in a change strip of white shirts and black shorts, attacking the goal to the left. And what a nerve-wracking occasion it promises to be for Neville Southall, really called in at the last minute. Here's Eric Gates, who's pushed further forward for Ipswich in this lineup with the absence of Alan Brazil. John Walk. And you can be sure that Bobby Robson will have instructed his players to test out Southall early on. Good turn here by Gates. Walsh the defender. Eric Gates, who turned so quickly and nearly got in behind Walsh then. So Southall faces a corner in the first minute of his First Division career. Just had 1 season in the Football League with Bury last year. Terry Butcher is on the near post for Ipswich, watched by Mike Lyons. This is Mariner. And encouraging tackle for Gary Stevens to get in early on, although the clearance didn't quite match the quality of his tackle on Mariner. Here's McMahon. Getting past Murin and then past McCall. O'Keefe breaking ahead of him and staying onside. And the whistle has gone for a free kick to Everton. For some pushing by McCall on Eamon O'Keefe. Everton with the aerial power of Mick Ferguson as a focal point. Thomas curls it in. Ferguson glances it in. So Mick Ferguson proves once again that he can be a thorn in Ipswich's side. The goal in the second minute from Thomas's swinging free kick. Just the touch there from Ferguson, and Everton lead. And for Ferguson, that's his first goal in the First Division since December 1979. Really has had just a handful of games over the last 18 months with problems with his ankle. Glided down by Ferguson, and the whistle had gone from referee Alex Hamill. Here's John Bailey. Thomas again. That's McMahon going in. And it was McBride who flashed it across the face of the goal. Everton getting their crosses in. It was a good jump this time by Steve McMahon, and Joe McBride, the angle was against him. Referee Alex Hamill from Wolverhampton. And Alan Bailey is going to be brought on by Everton. Mickey Thomas is the player who is limping. Everton will bring Bailey on. Thomas goes off, and this will need a certain amount of reorganisation. Bailey, of course, a striker, and he's having a word with Eamon O'Keefe, who is the most likely candidate to drop back. Callaghan. Osman coming forward. Everton content to get men behind the ball, and then Ferguson did the defending for them. It was Ross breaking behind Osman. Ipswich have a good record here in recent seasons in First Division games. They drew last year and won on their previous two visits. Sandwiched in between was a much-remembered defeat in the sixth round of the FA Cup 18 months ago. Tyson trying to set Murin on a run, and Stevens almost showing a slight lack of judgment as the ball bounced, but was able to recover. Game between O'Callaghan and O'Keefe, but here's Walk getting in at the far post, and Southall was beaten, but the flag was up. The linesman on the near side. So this effort by John Wark wouldn't have counted if it had crept inside that right-hand post as we looked. Ferguson and Osman, and it went Ipswich's way. Flick from Mariner, set up nicely for Gates. Eric Gates, who's made a career really out of scoring spectacular goals from just that sort of range. And Paul Mariner's flick here guided it down beautifully for Gates, who volleyed the dipping shot. McMahon. Here's Trevor Ross. Using McBride as the decoy. Good skill by McMahon that brought him a shooting chance. And it was hit with real power, but straight at Paul Cooper. Steve McMahon, who scored in the first minute last week at West Ham. O'Callaghan. Paul is moved forward ahead of him, but this is Muren. And now Gates. Touched back by Mariner. It's beautifully set up for Eric Gates. And Gates will work it in now. And Ipswich have equalised. Muren playing it initially to Gates, who linked up with Mariner. Gates' first opportunity was here. Although he might have had a push at Mike Lyons to get the chance. It came back at him, and that time he couldn't miss. A little bit of a heart flutter too for the scorer. So the goal coming as a result of Ipswich really getting to grips with the match in the middle of the field after their tentative start. O'Callaghan. Mariner having a swing at it. Pushed by Wark. Curled in by McBride. Lyons well forward for Everton. Butcher gets it out. And O'Callaghan jumping in at McMahon. Ross again involved at the set piece. Here's Lyons. Crowd behind the goal feeling that Lyons was pushed. Lyons once more, and it'll come here for Stevens! Oh my word! In his third first-team game, Gary Stevens, the 18-year-old. Such a calm youngster who really has fitted in so well when the opportunity to play in the First Division has been presented to him. It came to him on his left foot and he drilled it past Cooper. Well, Ipswich felt whether they might exploit the inexperience of Gary Stevens in a defensive capacity. They're caught unable to defend against Stevens. Here's Tyson as Ipswich look to strike back. And Gates and Mariner, it's wide. With Southall having flung himself to try to keep out the shot, made no contact. But Mariner, who's not having the best of time at the start of this season in front of goal, just one to his name so far. Tyson's dribble, Gates played a part. The shooting chance belonged to Mariner, but it was inches wide. And the half-time whistle goes, and Everton go off 2-1 in front, thanks to the first-team goal for Gary Stevens. So it's Everton who start the second half with plenty to be pleased about in the first 45 minutes, although their plans disrupted again by an injury, and Howard Kendall's attempts to find a settled side not really working out as he would hoped at the moment, with injuries and inconsistent form from certain players. Bailey guided on for Ferguson, who's brought down by Butcher. Ipswich really still quite firing on all cylinders. Osman trying to play it forward in the direction of Mariner, but not hitting his pass at all, and it's let O'Keefe forward here. And McBride in acres of space, and a chance here for Joe McBride in against Paul Cooper. Ferguson couldn't convert the ball as it dropped to him. And then Ross with a really intelligent trip, but dropped just over. This was the chance that presented itself to Joey McBride, pushed out by Cooper. Ferguson couldn't collect. Butcher just prodded it away, and Ross looking up, sizing up the situation, chipping it towards Cooper, but it dropped just over the goalkeeper and over the bar. Mariner coming short. He's looking for the run of Muren. Paul Mariner just taking too long on the ball. And Mariner damaged in the tackle and staying down. Back on his feet now. As Mr. Hamill again tries to play the advantage. And so Callaghan was being fouled. Gates. Ferguson rather waiting, allowing Osman in again. And the feet were high by Muren. Paul Mariner, definitely in the wars. That tackle a moment or two ago. Lyons misjudged it, but Bailey! After Lyons had rather unsettled the defenders by a jump that wasn't really well timed in terms of making contact with the ball. But it came from Ferguson for Bailey, and a fine save from Cooper. Bailey. McMahon again, sensing where the space was. Bailey's cross, Bailey climbing, and O'Keefe setting himself for a volley, and the ball didn't come down, and McCall was the player who reacted by pushing into O'Keefe's face. The question of Mr. Hamill's interpretation of that flare-up between O'Keefe and McCall, and he takes a lenient view of it. Mills. Callaghan ahead of him. Faced by Mike Lyons. Here's Tyson. Was taking too long to set himself on his left foot. McBride got back. Played off by Ferguson for McBride again. It's 3 against 3 for Everton. Bailey to McBride's right, Ferguson to his left. And trying to stay onside as McBride goes his own way. And gets past O'Callaghan and past Osman. It's McMahon. And it looked to be going places until it struck McCall. Stevens wins the corner. As this Goodison Park crowd get behind Everton again. Mariner, having gone off for treatment, is back on again and goes straight into a defensive role. Picking up Eamon O'Keefe. McBride's corner. Cooper's fists. And Ferguson is penalised. Here's Mills, whose policy now is to just go forward and try and lend help to the cause. Mariner. Ipswich forward again. This is Tyson. And McMahon. And carry it towards safety, and who's up in support? It's young Stevens again. Here's McMahon. Ferguson. Now Bailey. Now Ferguson. Blocked by the legs of Cooper. Bailey again. That came out of John Walk. What a remarkable series of events. Well, the chances presented themselves to Bailey and to Ferguson. But somehow Paul Cooper kept the goal intact. Kept the lifeline open for Ipswich into injury time. And Everton celebrate their best win to date under Howard Kendall. Neville Southall will remember an important save in the second half from Eric Gates that kept the lead intact. And 18-year-old Gary Stevens walks off in his third first-team game, having scored the winning goal against the side who came here as leaders of the First Division.
So Everton get us going in an all-dark strip of blue, attacking the goal to our left. Arsenal in the white shorts. Everton going through a fairly bleak period at the moment, having won only one of their last 5. And there's Ricks in that attacking role straight away, but the ball pushed a little too firmly forward for Jim Arnold to come out and gather for Everton. Former Blackburn Rovers keeper. White and Bailey. White winning it. Nicholas winning it for Arsenal. But in the end, a free kick for Everton. Gary Stevens will take it. And Lyons have gone in. Oh, Lodge was there too. Didn't quite fall for him though. Lyons still in there, and now O'Keefe in a lot of space. This could be interesting indeed. O'Leary's header though. Jennings to the rescue. And what a good throw. The space here for Hollins, with Ricks and Sunderland and Davis all up there wanting a bit of the action. Slanted there towards Graham Rix and headed back by Stevens and causing his goalkeeper a little bit of a problem there for a moment. Hollins driving that cross in there towards Rix. Stevens with the header and the catch by the keeper. Sanson with Arsenal's throw. Talbot. Devine. Sunderland. Interesting situation here. Oh! Off the crossbar. It looked impossible that he could get a shot in there because Walsh was right onto it. Well, what a turn and a shot that was by Alan Sunderland. Looked to be no danger at all for Everton, but there it is, bouncing off the crossbar. Sunderland's header. Now Hollins getting his crossing quickly, and a good header away by Lyons. Talbot was in behind him and it had to be guided away from the Everton goal, and Mike Lyons did that well. Good skipper, using his voice well, using his experience well, as he's had to do often in this first half, to deny Arsenal a chance of creating an opening. Supported there by Walsh, who gets that one away. Arsenal's throw. Hollins with it. Sunderland. Play for Nicholas. Goal kick. Into stoppage time. There's not been a trainer on, and the referee decides that that's half-time. And the half-time score here at Highbury is Arsenal 0, Everton. So Arsenal get us away at the start of the second half, having brought on their substitutes. Brian McDermott, with John Hollins now playing at right back, and it looks as though it's John Devine who's gone off. Well, here's Nicholas. Lyons getting it away. Lodge. Not the happiest of hunting grounds this for Everton. They've won only one of their last 11 games here. Lost 2-1 last season. In fact, Arsenal completed the double over them by winning 2-1 at Goodison as well. Although Everton won in the cup. There's Brian McDermott, a striker who's on in place of John Devine. I suppose the reason might be they want to pep things up a little bit up front, and Hollins has performed so well as a right back for Arsenal, and it does give them a chance of taking him out of the midfield and bringing on another striker, Brian McDermott. Bailey. McMahon. O'Keefe. This might come for Stevens. And he's hit it well, and what a good save. Well, Pat Jennings wondered how that really hit him. I mean, Stevens caught it so well. It bounced invitingly for him, and Jennings was at his best. So Lodge carefully placing the ball for the corner. Riley in there. Lyons right in there. Could be the danger. Wanted that little back flick, but O'Leary denied him that. Well, that was a fine save from this young man, the number 2, by Pat Jennings. Here's Sunderland setting things up for Arsenal now, taking on Stevens with Talbot outside him. Sunderland with the shot, wide, a goal kick. Nicholas. Back for O'Leary. Davis. Played for Ricks. Ah, good chance for Ricks. Talbot's gone right in the middle there. McDermott coming up fast. Well, the substitution has worked, and McDermott has scored a fine goal. Great run by Ricks, a marvellous cross, a beautifully guided header, and a perfect picture of it all. Arsenal 1, Everton 0. Brian McDermott with 10 minutes of the second half gone. Certainly from the very first whistle there'd be no lack of competitive bite about the game. But every game needs a goal just to lift it. And that's what we've now got. Sunderland. Ricks on that far side now. Well, another cross coming in. Talbot there, but this time Arnold just touching it away. Davis or Sanson. And an offside flag is up against, I imagine, Brian McDermott. Well, again, Graham Ricks having crossed to get the goal or set up the goal from one side of the field, comes down the right, but this time it was the fist of Jim Arnold that foiled Arsenal. And a bit of trouble there for Gary Stevens from Brian Talbot. White. Ross. Cut out by Chris White. O'Leary. Well, having conceded only 2 in their last 6, Arsenal are in a pretty mean mood defensively these days. It's going to be tough for Everton. Hollins with the throw. It's Piley. Running into a bit of trouble there. Beaten by Ricks, who's having quite a second half now. And a good floater in there towards Sunderland. Very active indeed. Oh! And again, Arsenal so close to a second goal. And again, it was Ricks who set it up in the first place. Sunderland who carried it on. And it was Talbot who's made some marvellous runs from the midfield, who just failed to get it there. Being hustled again by Sunderland, and Sunderland getting the better of him there. And nobody from Arsenal could quite get into a scoring position. And Walsh and Ross between them were right in there. But it's a really sprightly start by Arsenal in this second half, with just over a quarter of an hour of it gone. Floated in by McDermott for Talbot. Almost a free header. Be sure Howard Kendall's tossing around in his mind the idea of coming on as a substitute himself. Lodge, and that'll be Jennings. Hollins. He fell from Ricks for Sunderland onto the left foot. Trying a curler. Pushed over by Jim Arnold. Clever and skillful bit of play by Alan Sunderland. Felt there wasn't a lot. He's looking up just for the moment. Curling a little chip there, which the keeper pushed over. Must have felt there wasn't much point in trying to blast one, but notice that Jim Arnold may have been a yard or so off his line. Here's the corner by Talbot. Sunderland again, who's been so active in this match. Talbot with a long cross. Hollins. And Hollins getting back again. The crowd will enjoy that, because Hollins was caught out just for a moment and came back and retrieved the ball. McDermott. Ricks. Onto the left foot. Half carried. Talbot will finish it off. Did it cross the line? No, there was a foul on the keeper, presumably. And Everton get a free kick. Well, let's look at this one from another angle as Ricks plays it in. The keeper half held it, couldn't stop it. Talbot came in. Oh, bodies falling everywhere. The ball may have crossed the line, but it was all academic in the end because the referee decided there was a foul on the keeper. McDermott off. That's a good cross. Again, testing the keeper, and the keeper lost it. No foul there. But here's Sharp now for Everton. Now Bailey. Played again for Graham Sharp. Chris White getting in there. Sharp with a chance to equalise. Bailey with a chance to equalise. And Arsenal somehow keep them out, but at the expense of a corner. But again, a lesson there, when you're on top and you're only a goal up, suddenly it can all go wrong. And Arsenal were nearly pinned back to 1-1. Bailey's shot in the end going off an Arsenal player for the corner. Already taken. It's with Ross. Sunderland waited there and O'Keefe got it, and then Sunderland got the second time. It's important that Arsenal stay on side, and McDermott has done that, taking the ball from Paul Davis. And Everton get it away. They've got a lot of players back quickly, and McDermott might have got it in a little quicker to men who'd come forward into good, strong attacking positions for Arsenal. So good balance in the game now as Everton still go striving for a goal that will mean a point, which means they take the odd risk at the back, and Arsenal looking to capitalise on that. Ricks with a throw for them. Except it's now going to be Nicholas, presumably, because I might want to... Well, wrong again. I thought he might want to throw a long one in. But Ricks, they were looking for his crossing ability, and nothing came of that except a corner. So Ricks with a chance to loft it in. Well, Stevens stooped to get that one away. Hollins, Davis, Ricks, Davis. Long-range shot, no problems for Everton. Goal kick. Final whistle, and Arsenal have won. With a goal by Brian McDermott 10 minutes into the second half, fashioned superbly with that cross by Graham Ricks. But let's not forget that it was a marvellous save by Pat Jennings early in the second half that kept Arsenal on an even keel when Everton came for them at the start of this period. So 7 successive wins then for Arsenal, and a final score here at Highbury. It's Arsenal 1, Everton 0.
Youth is definitely the theme of this Everton side. Average age 22, and the measure of the change in personnel over this season is that only 3 of these players, centre-half Mike Lyons, left-back Kevin Ratcliffe and striker Peter Eastoe, were on duty when Everton played at Tottenham in September. Adrian Heath is the latest arrival, and the England under-21 midfield player cost a club record fee of £700,000 from Stoke City. Tottenham come without that sturdy centre-back Graham Roberts, injured in midweek. Archibald expected to start a comeback in the reserves next Saturday. Referee Bert Newsom from Broseley gets the game underway on an afternoon when a gusty wind may well be a decisive factor. A pitch that's soft underfoot. Everton in the dark shirts of blue, attacking the goal to the left in the first half. Here's Hoddle. Everton with just the league to keep their interests alive in this season. course, with European involvement, still in the 2 domestic knockout trophies as well. Free kick given against the challenge of Peter Eastoe. Here's Ozzy Ardiles. May well be that midfield will be a key area this afternoon. Everton so young in that department, and Spurs with so much experience. Waddle's pass, affected really by the wind, and Perryman helping it on first time, and Lyons having to concede the corner. Perryman the first to acknowledge the quality in the service from Hoddle as he made his run forward. Hoddle will take the corner himself. Sharp who got it out, only as far as Perryman. Stevens, who's been drawn across on the cover, just tucks it away from Hoddle. Stevens again. It's a good volley from Heath, but the ball tipped awkwardly towards him. And Eastoe making something of it. Lodge, well, there was a man spare to his right, and he went unseen. It was Ratcliffe who found himself on that side. Heath has pushed forward. Sharp! Oh my goodness! You won't see a better one than that! From a young man who really is finding that First Division football is to his liking now, after a couple of years in the reserves. After 9 minutes, Heath gave chase, and it was a hopeful header, but look what Sharp made of it. And the ground still a buzz of excitement. The crowd reacting to a splendid goal. Well, it's worth a second look. Graham Sharp will look at it happily for a long time to come. This is Galvin leaving it for Hoddle. And Half's made the tackle, and the flag is up against Crooks. Well, Ray Clements will have plenty of memories of playing on this ground in his Liverpool days, but I'm sure he could hardly have been beaten by a better shot than that one. Perryman judging it rather better than Lodge. Lyons. Irvin with room to turn. Balked by Houghton. And Irvin, who's a wide player and something of the old-fashioned mould. Causing some confusion. Falco got it away for Tottenham. That was another misplaced pass. Eastoe battling for Everton. Foul by Villa. The shrug of surprise from the Argentinian. Free kick already taken. Here's Richardson. Being dogged by Heath. Sharp's touch, Eastoe's volley. It was in the same vein as Everton's goal. This time Sharp flicking it on and Eastoe twisting into the shot. It was too high. Ardiles kicks away past Heath, and this is Miller, and Southall grateful to hang on. Tottenham really camped in the Everton half. Paul Miller had stayed forward. So at half-time, Tottenham, with the wind at their backs, have done more of the attacking. But the half illuminated by a goal of real quality from Graham Sharp. When nothing really seemed on, Adrian Heath chasing a ball forward and just getting his head to it. It dropped for Sharp, who saw the possibilities and flashed his shot past Ray Clements. And at half-time at Goodison Park, it's Everton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Kendall, who was a reluctant player in 6 games earlier this season, settling now for encouraging his young side from the dugout. It's Tottenham who will get the second half going. Perhaps looking for a little bit more directness in their play. Try and pull back the lead given to Everton by Graham Sharp. Price. Quite the sort of pass from Ardiles that he might appreciate for his first touch in the second half. Left him a little short. Chris Hughton trying to steal a yard at the throw. Galvin. Giving Irving no time to settle. Southall getting plenty of length into his first clearance of the half with the wind behind him now. And Irving brought down and left protesting as a result of Hughton's foul. Irving quickly involved again. Blocked by Galvin. Here's Kevin Richardson. And that's Sharp! And it was going in. Climbed well, got power and direction, and Clements had to drop to his left. And Ratcliffe, touch with the header enough to take it behind for the corner. Often like to work it short as they do here, to allow the likes of Hoddle and Velia to conjure up some magic. And now Ardiles. Southall beats it away only as far as Ardiles again. And the goalkeeper gets applause for the second save. Very quickly off his line to narrow the angle for the first shot here. It came back for Ardiles a second time. Southall recovered his balance quick and was in the right position again. Ardiles. By Heath, but it was an interesting little episode that, because Adrian Heath is a midfield player who likes to get forward, and Everton recognise that he has a strength and an ability to win the ball in the opposition's half of the field, and he was trying to do just that then. Falco, and this is Crooks, a chance here for Tottenham, and Southall the saviour again. Falco's header created the opening. And Crooks unable to get it under Southall. Here's Lodge. Turned forward by Miller. Crooks. Galvin. That's there ahead of Higgins. Velia in support. And Southall in the right position. And the handling was sound. Villa, not for the first time in this game, turning well for a big man. That's a corner. Clipped in by Irvine. Lyons with the flick. It's a move that's produced Everton goals already this season, and they were close again there, and that's Stevens. Villa instantly released for Falco. Now Villa. Tackling's got to be careful here with Villa in the area, prepared to screen and shield. But Heath picks out sharp, and Everton have got pace on the brace with Ratcliffe, and now Eastoe allowed to go on, and missing the opening. Must have been a moot point as to whether Peter Eastoe was offside. He feels that perhaps he should have had a corner. Ratcliffe it was who freed him. Clements, of course, one of the best in this type of situation. Sharp turns away from Price, looks for Eastoe. The referee was trying to play an advantage there. Sharp was fouled as he pushed the ball in Eastoe's direction. But Everton were in possession, although only for a moment longer. The referee caught in one of those awkward situations. Ardiles. Control from Crooks. Villa let it run and booted it away. Eastoe and Sharp covering a lot of ground in front for Everton as they try to make headway on the break. Eastoe. Forward from Ratcliffe. Header from Price. There's Irvine. Heath. Richardson to his right. And Heath just a foot away from his first goal for Everton. Players breaking either side of him, which helped him gain a yard of space. And today's crowd of more than 30,000, which suggests that this young side are capturing the public imagination around Goodison Park. Here's Lodge. Now Richardson. He scored in his last two games, Kevin Richardson, shots from around the edge of the area, prepared to try his luck again against Ray Clements. So the pattern continues in the second half, the more calculated approach of Tottenham against the hurry and scurry of the Everton young brigade. And plenty of skill too from them when they fashion their breaks. This is Houghton. Ardiles couldn't collect, but Heath handling the ball. An unfortunate bounce. Hoddle strikes it, and Southall is once again able to produce fine handling to a shot that was curving away to his right. And Gary Brooke, who has been out of the first-team picture since September, has had a cartilage operation. Gets back into the action in place of Mark Falco, with quarter of an hour remaining. Gary Brooke, who of course played in the cup final. Goodison going off to get some treatment. Shoot. Diles as ever lending support. Brooks. Everton hold their ground on the edge of the area. Galvin. Here's Ardiles. Now Houghton. It was Lyons who threw himself into the path of the shot. And Lyons again, but it drops for Villiers. And Southall is beaten at last. And Everton left in disarray by the goal from Ricky Villiers. Lyons couldn't quite reach the header. Villiers had kept running and slotted it into the corner. Ricky Villiers' fourth goal of the season. Richardson, collected by Eastoe, and here's Lodge. The tackle was clean from Glenn Hoddle. Brooks. Hoddle with fine vision picking out Galvin. He was aware that Houghton was coming, but not quite of his position, and Houghton must scurry back after Irvine, who's got the pace to take on Ardiles. Irvine turns away in disappointment. The cross was deflected by Ardiles. Hoddle. Brooks trying to get behind Lyons again. Forced away for the moment from the danger area. This is Galvin. He might be disappointed as he picks himself up to find that there was no teammate looking to get onto the end of that cross. That's attracting the ball again off Eastoe that time. Sharp. Hoddle. Instinctively finding Crooks. Help arriving here from Galvin, who tried to place it, and for once Southall fumbled. Got away with it thanks to the help of Mike Lyons. And it was the miss-hit shot from Galvin that caused them the problems. And Perriman, with a look over the shoulder, realised that Sharp was behind him. Ardiles. Driven in by Hoddle, and Crooks could have won it then. And I think one or two of his teammates thought that he should have done. Some arms raised in disappointment, threw himself at it, but the ball slithering off the head and behind for the goal kick. So for the fourth successive season, this fixture ends in a draw. Graham Sharp with a goal to remember, and Everton's youngsters continue to give hope for the club's future here. Ricky Villa with the equaliser 13 minutes from time, and Tottenham's resilience again away from home suggests that they can face their League Cup semi-final first leg at West Bromwich Albion next week with some confidence. Final score at Goodison Park, it's Everton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 1.
And there's the whistle now that gets us away with Brighton in the all dark blue strip, attacking the goal to our left. Everton, who also normally play in blue in unfamiliar change colours, all white. It's a pick-up for Neville Southall in the Everton goal. £150,000 signing from Bury last summer. Gatting keeping an eye on Sharp. Sharp's header. And Irvin just comes across to cut him out. Time off Smith studs. Stevens with Everton's throw. A bit of work here by Irvin, and a very neat tackle too by Grealish. Bad ball from Smith, but Grealish has rescued it. It'll be Nelson to take the throw. Nobody at the moment picking up Grealish, but the ball goes to Gatting. Ritchie. Nice little dummy by Grealish, and Nab finds him straight away. And more possibilities down the right. This is ball in, Grealish's shot! That was a beautifully worked goal. That really was a fine bit of work, right from the start of the build-up. And Grealish involved in the creating and involved at the finish. This is Case. Nice little chip in. Grealish already on the move. Side foot, just inside the post. Tony Grealish, the second goal of the season, first in the league. Ryan did a lot of very hard work there, and Smith really should have administered a better finishing touch than that. Here's Irving tipping one over, and what a marvellous save that was by Mosley. Easto just could not believe it. That was a magnificent bit of reflex play by the Brighton goalkeeper. In shot, and Mosley saves. Heath. Well cut out. Ab puts Ryan through with a fine ball. Ryan in on goal, and scores! Well, McNabb showing how to open up a defence, and Ryan providing the finishing touch. Oh, Jerry Ryan will be pleased with that. McNabb just lifts his head, checks, plays the perfect through ball. Ryan already in his stride, and Southall, having started to come backed off, comes again, and his parry can't keep it out. So that's 2-0, and Jerry Ryan scores his first goal since September 1980, when he got one against Coventry in the League Cup. There's McNabb again. Case up on this side, he's got Stevens overlapping. Cab still available to join in again. And curls across another beautiful ball for Smith. And this time Southall makes a good save. Came out quickly and kept coming, closed down the space and blocked the shot. But here's a good ball now for Lodge. Stopped well by Stevens. Ritchie. Pass supplied almost inevitably by McNabb. Ryan looking for a chance to shoot. He's come wide. He's got Smith. He's got Grealish there. Couldn't find either of them. But he has got a corner. Everton beginning to rock a bit. 3/4 of the way through the game. They're 2-0 down. Nelson making the first run as Case takes it, and Foster was in there behind him, and it really looks as though he was being held down. Blindside maybe of the referee. Smith setting it up for Foster. What a good goal that was! Well, Southall looks disgusted, but goalkeepers don't often see those. And you don't see many centre-halves who finish like centre-forwards. Smith took his time setting it up, but look at this lovely left foot. That was a peach. Steve Foster's second goal of the season. Scored now against both the Merseyside clubs. He got one against Liverpool in October. Brighton 3, Everton 0. Irvin. Now doing the tidying up job now. Higgins. Caution to the wings now for Everton. Ball had gone out. Kick that's given. Lyons inevitably there to search for the header. Stevens it was who got it away for Brighton. Now it's Heath for Everton. And he's bowled over by Smith. And Mr. Axel goes over to administer a word or two in the ear of Mr. Smith. Meanwhile, Everton are about to make a substitution and bring on Trevor Ross. Number 5 suggests that Mike Lyons is going off. Interesting substitution, a midfield player for a back 4-man. Howard Kendall now down on the bench for Everton. There he is on the right of that picture as we look at it, with his arm on his knee. And the free kick played in straight away, and the header from Higgins was not quite crisp enough, and Mosley was able to make the catch. Higgins, who'd gone up, got on the end of it well, just couldn't direct it out of Mosley's reach. Free kick for foul on Stevens. Here's Richardson. Sharp, then Eastoe. Stevens again. Ross, capable of having a blast from there. And Heath. Adrian Heath gets his first goal since his £700,000 transfer from Stoke and makes it 3-1. Ross, the substitute, involved at the start. This is Stevens. He's making the run across, and that allows Ross to come in here. And Ross's shot then is headed away by Foster, straight to Heath, and that's 3-1.
Manchester City are without their injured captain, Paul Power, but Trevor Francis returns after the thigh strain which failed him here a fortnight ago against Arsenal. Kevin Bond is once more in midfield, where he's improvised successfully in City's last 2 matches. For Everton, Kevin Ratcliffe is recalled at left-back because John Bailey picked up an injury in training. Adrian Heath is given an attacking role in a side where the average age is just 22. Alan Irvine at number 7 was rejected by Manchester City as a 15-year-old because he was too small. Asa Hartford on the left captains Manchester City against the club he left in the autumn. And Billy Wright is leading Everton these days in the absence of Mike Lyons. The fixtures between the two sides have very much gone City's way in recent seasons. You have to go back 8 meetings to find Everton's last win, when in fact the decisive goal came from Billy Wright. Derek Civil from Birmingham is today's referee. Everton are wearing a change strip of all white, and they kick off. Manchester City won 1-0 at Goodison Park back in October, and are looking to repeat the double that they won over Everton last season, when they also put Everton out of the 6th round of the FA Cup. Alan Irvine. The pitch has withstood a battering from overnight rain well. Brian Burrows with a header. Bobby McDonald. Here's Irvine. Now Heath. Graham Sharp furthest forward for Everton. Squeezing it back for Richardson. Irvine going through the middle. McDonald was covering him. And now Ranson, who captained the England under-21s on Wednesday. Ryder. Bond with space, and he needed all of it, and then gets the free kick. A foul by Ross, who is the oldest player in the Everton starting lineup at 25. Everton, who lost Asa Hartford's experience in their midfield when he moved back to City. Payton might get a second bite at it, and it's a corner. 1-4 City by the endeavour of Tommy Caton. Ryan will take it. Bond and Reeves on the near post. It's Bond, and then put out by Richardson. A little concerned about the City numbers on the near post. And Southall uncertain. Reeves had a drive at it. And finally a goal kick. Kevin Bond causing difficulties for Everton with the jump there that disconcerted Southall. And Reeves had the final effort, and City looked for a penalty as the ball was blocked by an Everton hand. Ratcliffe. Heath let it run for Sharp, and it's back for Heath again, and Everton score a superb goal. Heath's shot after the interplay with Sharp. Heath let it run. Sharp was aware that Heath wanted it back, and the finish was decisive. 5 minutes played. Everton, who have had problems in scoring that they would have wanted here at Main Road. And the goal coming barely 30 seconds after Manchester City had asked for a penalty at the other end. And the ball appeared to strike the hand of Billy Wright. And here's Bond, who equalises. The player who's had his share of criticism at Main Road as the son of the manager. But he gives an answer there, doing a job for the side in midfield. He picked the ball up, switched it to his left foot, and Southall was late with the dive. Hartford. McMahon in with great determination. Here's Ross. Richardson. And Bond. Brought down by Ross, and it's another booking for Everton. Kevin Bond had lost control, really. But Ross was committed. Ross joins Higgins in the notebook for that tackle on Bond. Ryder, and it was Hartford, and Southall just made it. Wasn't hit with great venom by Asa Hartford, but the placement was good. It was Sharp's header that fell for him, and Southall repositioned and just pushed it around. Bond beaten by Wright. Ryan looks wide again. It's a goal kick. Ryan quickly across when Irvin's in possession. This is McMahon. And Bond lost out to Steve McMahon. Carried on, but it's still with Everton, and Heath, but the chance goes away. Heath is frustrated. Kevin Bond, I would think, is the most relieved Manchester City player, who lost possession initially, tussled to try and win it back, found that Reed rather got in his way. Heath took it up, slipped Caton, but shot wide. Hartford. This is Ryan. Ransom racing up outside him, but the pass is aimed for Reeves, and his first touch allowed Ross to hack it to safety for Everton. The pass was true, but Reeves couldn't quite collect, and Ross saved the day. So it's City's corner this time, and Everton have left John Ryan. Came off right and reached Caton, and it's nodded behind by Sharp. And Everton lost their concentration when they allowed the corner to be played short to Ryan. And it's Ryan who's come across to take the corner from the other side. Bond's flick, Francis against the bar. And it was already over when Southall touched it. The near post corner almost working for City. Bond got it on, but Francis couldn't keep it down. Wright's header. City going forward through McDonald. Francis. Prepared to turn and twist until the opening comes his way. And it's Ryder, and Southall. It was a despairing dive, but it was effective to deny Auger Ryder. But splendid work from Trevor Francis to set up the cross. Ransom will play it in. And Francis, and Southall has lost it. And Everton react angrily, and Francis used the head then, and must surely find himself in serious trouble. Francis followed the ball in, Southall took it in the face, and Everton reacted, and then Francis in his turn retaliated. He certainly used the head. And Derek Civil of Birmingham sends off Trevor Francis. Francis still can't believe it, nor can the Manchester City supporters. But the incident was quite clear as Everton showed their protests around Francis. He used his head. The ball ends up in the back of the net, but the half-time whistle had gone. And the players leave the field to a storm of booing. Billy Wright was the Everton player involved as Trevor Francis appeared to butt him and was sent off 3 minutes before half-time by referee Derek Civil. This after the match had given us a really exciting start with 2 goals in the first 6 minutes. Kevin Bond there, the City scorer, after Adrian Heath had put Everton in front. And one wonders whether their hopes of the championship have disappeared as a result of what's taken place here today. A reminder that the score is 1 goal apiece. Reeves. Here goes Ryan. Ryder's got into the middle. This is Irvin. Making McDonald do the chasing. Heath. The task now for Everton is to make their extra man count in the second half. Sharp. Irvin. It's Richardson beyond the far post, and McMahon, who can't quite turn it back in. Ratcliffe. We might recall that he was sent off in an Everton-Manchester City clash last season in a similar incident. Here's Irvin. Ross. Can use Burrows if he wants, or Heath. This is Heath. Now Burrows. McMahon. Setting his sights on the left foot, and it was close. Steve McMahon had covered a lot of ground to be involved in this Everton build-up, and his turn took him away from John Ryan. Ross. Here's Reeves. City will have to get men forward quickly in support of him. Bond has got forward. Reeves tries the shot, which is blocked, and Ryder drives it in. And it hit Trevor Ross and could have gone anywhere. It's a corner. Reeves carried the fight forward for City, and then it broke for Ryder. Ross was fortunate that it only went for the corner. McDonald came in. And this is Brian Burrows for Everton. Everton have 4 forward, City 4 back. Ransom does enough to hold them up. Sharp. In from Irvin. Corrigan keeping his eye on the ball. And again, a challenge by a forward on a goalkeeper provides a flashpoint. Graham Sharp sensibly walked away from Corrigan's reaction. Ranson doing well against Richardson, who flicked him from behind and will be booked. Ray Ranson was trying to get his body between Richardson and the ball and ran across the line of Richardson's run, and Kevin Richardson caught the back of the left boot and removed it, and he becomes the third Everton player to be cautioned. Ranson had left him, but he veered across in front of Richardson, who was tempted into a tackle that could never succeed. Ratcliffe. And Ratcliffe and Reid tussling off the ball. And they go again, and the feet were high by Ratcliffe. The referee wants the game to go on, with City in possession. But there was another potential incident. On that occasion, Nicky Reid and Kevin Ratcliffe, the central figures. And Reid with a no-nonsense tackle again. Heath finding Ratcliffe. This is Richardson. And it's Burrows who's arriving. And Ryan, who was aware of his presence and helped it behind for the corner. And it's Manchester City's turn to get their marking tight at a set piece. For Everton, the hope of exploiting this dead ball situation to restore their lead. Sharp. Heath. And Corrigan at full stretch, as Adrian Heath's header was looping in on target after Sharp flicked it on. Sharp, who's made Caton work hard. And the pass from Ross was beautifully picking out McMahon. I think Corrigan got a touch on the shot to push it onto the bar, and if he did, it was a superb save, because Steve McMahon was on the receiving end of a splendid ball from Trevor Ross. McMahon setting off there. Ross found him, the ball sat up nicely for McMahon, but Corrigan touched it onto the bar. Joe Corrigan keeping the 10 men in the match. This time, Irvine looks for the outswinger. Maybe Mark Higgins the target, but it reaches right. But the whistle has gone. No goal. Pushing by Wright. The ball dropping over the head of Mark Higgins, but Wright was leaning in on her rider. Heath. Here's Higgins. McMahon allowed to turn. And a deflection brings the best out of Corrigan again, off Kevin Bond. It's been a heroic performance from Corrigan in the second half. In fact, the ball was passing wide, but Corrigan couldn't be sure. No problems for the goalkeeper there, as Wright's header was always passing over. Into the final minute of normal time. Here's Reed, looking for something dramatic to finish the day. Finally halted by Higgins. And then Wright with a back pass that has Southall in trouble. McDonald. Here's Reed, who covered some 60 yards in that burst forward. The type of aggression and determination that makes Nicky Reed such a favourite at Main Road. And the final whistle goes. It's a match that will be remembered for the sending off of Trevor Francis, but Joe Corrigan's 24th game against Everton in his long career. He's only been on the losing side 4 times against them, and his second half performance has given Manchester City their share of the spoils here. The goals both in the first 6 minutes from Adrian Heath for Everton and Kevin Bond replying for Manchester City. And first out are Liverpool, the short price favourites for the League Championship, but today's 3 points just part of the issues at stake this afternoon. And here at Everton, out into this fiercely partisan atmosphere, a rivalry that even divides families here on Merseyside and creates a unique football occasion. Kevin Ratcliffe came through a rigorous test this morning on an ankle damaged in the cause of Wales in Valencia on Wednesday. So Howard Kendall is able to name an unchanged side, 6 players facing the special challenge of a derby match for the first time. Goalkeeper Neville Southall, defender Brian Burrows, Alan Irvine and Kevin Richardson in midfield, and the 2 strikers, Adrian Heath and Graham Sharp. Craig Johnston is the only derby debutant in the Liverpool ranks, continuing to deputise for the injured Terry McDermott. Phil Neal, Graham Souness and Ian Rush have all put aside the minor ailments that this week kept them away from their international commitments. So too has Kenny Dalglish, who was a scorer for Scotland against Holland on Wednesday, but only played in the first half of that match. Everton then to kick off. They've been very much on the receiving end in these matches in recent seasons. Only 1 win in the last 20 First Division meetings between these 2 clubs for Everton, but they can point to knocking Liverpool out of the FA Cup here last season. And it looks as though Kenny Dalglish starting in a slightly withdrawn role, with Craig Johnston pushing further forward. And the referee for the 126th League derby between these 2 famous clubs is Ken Walmsley from Blackpool. Here's Dalglish. Breaks for Rush. Ross got a foot in, could only deflect it as far as Whelan. Whelan collects from Souness. Johnston climbing well. It was Billy Wright who got away with a miss-kick on the edge of his own area. Souness. Now Alan Kennedy. Deflected back to him off Irvine. The tackle was from McMahon. Steve McMahon, who eased his side out of an awkward situation. Everton trying to bring Alan Irvine into their play. Kennedy sticking tight to him. It's given to Irvine by Thompson, but again Kennedy stepped in. Richardson against Lee, free kick to Everton. Here's Ross. Sharp coming short. Forced even deeper. Now McMahon. Irvin faced by Dalglish, but he gets past him. Away via the knee of Thompson from McMahon again. He shot impressively from this sort of range against Manchester City last Saturday, and it needed Lawrenson to put it behind for the corner. McMahon didn't hit it cleanly, in fact, as he made progress past Thompson, but Lawrenson stuck out the leg. Souness, Neil slipping McMahon. Here's Dalglish. Well covered by Higgins, who was then held by Rush. It's Everton's throw off Kennedy. It's Whelan who was in crisply. Sharp and Heath had stolen a yard on Liverpool for a second then. Irvin playing it back in again. Grobbelaar is committed and fouled as he came between Heath and Sharp. He's at times been over-adventurous coming off his line this season, Bruce Grobbelaar. The referee judged that Sharp impeded him. Rush. And Lee is offside. Higgins taking too long over his clearance, and Rush blocked it. And Rush can take it up again. Dalglish with Whelan to his left. And Johnston against the bar. And Rush was perhaps confused by Johnston. It's Whelan who shoots, and it's in. From Whelan. It looked as though Everton had escaped, but it was but a temporary reprieve. Against the bar by Johnston. Then Rush had a shot at it. It came out as far as Whelan. It took a deflection, but it's Whelan's goal. And he's proving to have a knack of scoring on important occasions. It's his 11th goal of the season. But Neville Southall was wrong-footed by the deflection in Whelan's shot. But here's Heath looking to strike back. Sharp managed to help it on to Heath, and Everton have a corner. Now they would love to strike back quickly here. Grobbelaar through the pack, but not getting a solid contact. Sharp! And they have! Graham Sharp in his first derby. Grobbelaar was indecisive with the punch. Came through Lawrenson and found Sharp, who made the most of the opportunity. Irvin brought down by Kennedy. And Alan Kennedy is going to be booked. Kennedy has been close to Irvin. Maybe a little unfortunate to be cautioned. Certainly most of the tackles have been crisp and fair by Kennedy on Irvin. But that one was clearly late. Sharp jumping with Lawrenson, and it falls here for Heath. Well, the understanding between Sharp, even when he doesn't get a clear header himself, and the way the ball drops for Heath is so promising for Everton. And Heath flashed the shot wide. down for Richardson. Can't get past Lee. Everton, in fact, haven't been beaten at home in the First Division for 4 months now. Rush, and it's Whelan, and Neil! Well, it might have looked an easier chance than in fact it was. Whelan stabbed it across the face of the goal, and Neil was looking to make sure, but could only drag it wide. All his previous goals in derby games have been from the penalty spot. Thompson beating Sharp on one occasion, but McMahon can collect, and now Richardson. Dogged by Lee. And Richardson finds a way through, and past Neil, and past Lawrenson. But the fall doesn't impress Mr. Walmsley. Maybe Kevin Richardson was running out of legs anyway after a fiercely determined run. It lost Lee and then Neil. The next obstacle was Lawrenson. No foul. Bruce Grobbelaar, I'm sure, will reflect on the punch that led to Everton's equaliser. Higgins. Sharp chases, but hasn't got his eye on the ball. Thompson certainly had. And Kennedy finds Rush, whose shot was instant and so close for Liverpool. But Alan Kennedy, in splendid form at the moment, playing his part with a forceful run and an intelligent pass that Rush dealt with instantly, but put the shot wide. Whelan with the second header. Dalglish. But both Johnston and Whelan have taken up wider positions. Howard Kendall, second from the left as we look. I'm sure we'll be pleased with the response from his young side in this first half, particularly coming from behind. We're into stoppage time at the end of the first 45 minutes. Irvin. Using McMahon. Turned into Lee. Was trying to hold up Dalglish, but Liverpool with 5 men forward here couldn't find the pass. And Ratcliffe almost giving an anxious moment right at the last for Southall with a back pass. For the first half, but sprang to life when Ronnie Whelan put Liverpool in front, but Graham Sharp replying quickly for Everton. And plenty of chances in a game that is normally so tight. And at half-time at Goodison Park, it's Everton 1, Liverpool. Liverpool then attacking the goal to the left in the second half. And here's Phil Neal, who got forward to good effect for them on a couple of occasions. Often the fear of making mistakes with so much local pride at stake hampers the development of derby games, but the openings have come at both ends in the first half. Burrows with the header, and Souness. Alert for the ball that breaks on the edge of the area, Graham Souness. Irvin. Kennedy had read his mind, but the back pass puts Liverpool in trouble. This is Heath, and Lawrenson has to repair the damage. initially from Alan Kennedy. Heath was alert to the possibilities. This time Sharp alone on the near post for Everton. Higgins coming to the centre of the goal, and right behind him. This is Richardson dinking it back. And Grobbelaar wasn't perhaps to know, but time and space were on his side. Johnston. Richardson tussling, so too is Ratcliffe. And it breaks for Lee. And now Dalglish against Ross. Trying to jockey one of those positions that he's so good at. And Souness! Courtesy of Dalglish. Kenny Dalglish did all the spade work here. Everton just couldn't get a foot in. And it came for Souness. Southall was unsighted. It's another free kick Everton's way. And Liverpool certainly not secure in their lead at the moment. Drops for Ross, who struck it well. It was arrowing towards that gap inside the far post until Grobbelaar brought off a spectacular catch. And Rush. Higgins is the defender. But the pass falls straight for Richardson, who lost it to Whelan. Lee. Johnston is onside, Dalglish is in the middle. And Johnston drove it in high, when a low cross towards the near post, towards Dalglish, might have been the more telling ball. Sharp. Off Heath for McMahon. Ross is looking for Sharp and found him. Oh, what a shot and what a save! Graham Sharp. A shot out of nothing. It was entitled really to catch Grobbelaar out. He hit it so well, but how well Grobbelaar responded. Johnston played off for Lee. His pass was aimed for Rush, collected off right by Whelan. Can Souness land another? It was blocked by Higgins. This is Neil. Lee. Everton have got their marking right. Irvin. As we move towards the last 15 minutes. McMahon looking to take on Kennedy. Lee reacting rather quicker than Ross. And Liverpool reacting in numbers with Whelan. And Johnston's offside. And a situation full of potential for Liverpool ends in an Everton free kick. from Sharp. Back for Sharp from Heath. Well, again, the two young strikers aware of each other's positioning. Ratcliffe and Johnston, who've seen a lot of each other in this game. Peter Eastoe, who's been so troubled by injuries this season. Johnston against Ratcliffe, who blocks the attempted cross. Neil. Whelan and Burrows. One sense is that Liverpool are quite happy to draw a breath or two. Use up some of the 10 minutes that remain. If Everton have had more of the ball in this second half, certainly Liverpool have provided quality when they've got forward, as they do here with Johnston, who salutes the moment that may well have decided the destiny of this match. Rush involved. Johnston had a swing at it, and it looped up over the despairing Southall. It's Everton 1, Liverpool 3. Craig Johnston, who's yet to complete a full 90 minutes in Liverpool's league side. It's the third game he started. He's been taken off in the two previous games. And a moment for him to relish here. Came off Thompson, but kindly for Grobbelaar. Sharp. Now Souness. Stretching Everton with the pass. But Rush can collect, but can only run out of play. Johnston. Here's Lee. And Kevin Ratcliffe will be cautioned for a foul on Craig Johnston. And no love lost between the two. Johnston booked earlier for his part in a similar incident. And it's been something of a running feud in the second half. Johnston is offside. Well, he's waited a long time, Craig Johnston, for the opportunity to establish his claims for regular first-team football. It's forlorn for Everton now. Certainly the experience that Liverpool took into this match has, as it turns out, stood them in good stead. Craig Johnston gets the third Liverpool goal, and Everton give a good account of themselves, and certainly their young players will be better for the experience, notably Graham Sharp, their scorer. So Liverpool have done the double. The scoreline here at Goodison Park, it's Everton 1, Liverpool 3. Frank Stapleton's crucial penalty failure against Liverpool on Wednesday reflected Manchester United's recent tensions in front of goal. Indeed, Stapleton, regarded by many inside football as the First Division's most effective central striker, has scored only once in his last 12 games. Mike Lyons is back to face Stapleton after missing 9 matches, first through a stomach injury and then the performances of the Everton defence in his absence. Lyons takes over from Billy Wright, the victim of a groin strain. Alan Ainscough partners Graham Sharp up front after a goal-scoring return to the side at Birmingham on Tuesday. And Trevor Ross takes his place in midfield and Paul Lodge is the substitute, even though Howard Kendall named both among 10 players who were put on the transfer list by the Everton manager on Good Friday. John Gidman returns to the United defence, though he's still feeling a back problem. Gidman, who moved to Old Trafford from Everton last summer. Mike Duxbury switches to deputise for Martin Buchan, but Remy Moses passed the fitness test this morning on a damaged Achilles tendon. Manchester United to kick off then, 4 minutes short of 5 hours of First Division football since their last goal. But Stapleton trying an early shot, and Lyons conceding an early corner. And a positive start from Manchester United against an Everton side who have had 2 good away wins in the past 8 days. Burrows clears the corner, which was played in low by Wilkins. It's a breezy afternoon, which may pose a problem or two for the players. Ross climbing, eased on by McMahon. Here's Irvine, Ainscough ahead of him, and Heath. Came to Ainscough, and back for Irvine again. And Bailey having to make sure the near post as Heath came in from Irvine's cross. And the referee today is Alan Saunders from Newcastle. Arthur Alberston. McGarvey doing the running. And playing the pass inside Burrows for Coppell to chase. And the ball beats both of them. Scott McGarvey continuing in the Manchester United side in the absence of Gary Birtles. Sharp. This is Ross. It's blocked by Gidman. Ainscough chases and retrieves. And Ross looks up and sees Sharp in the middle, and Irvine too, who got in front of Steve Coppell, between Coppell and Alberston in fact. All played in by Ross. And Irvine timed his arrival well, but was at full stretch. This is Ainscough. And Everton have the throw, which Sharp is quick to want to receive. And seemed to take a buffeting in the back from Moran. McMahon reading the pass. Sharp is onside. It was Duxbury who gave it away. And here's McMahon. It's a corner. United in trouble of their own making, really, as the ball was given away by Duxbury initially. McMahon took it up and kept running, and Bailey just blocked it behind. Higgins joining Sharp on the near post. but the ball doesn't reach them. It reaches Burrows, and now Irvine. United pushing out. The linesman flagging for an offside decision. What the crowd don't appreciate. Alan Ainscough was the furthest player forward for Everton. Here's Higgins. Burrows taking it from Irvine. Now Heath. He lost his balance at a crucial moment, but still found Burrows. This is McMahon. Burrows involved again. Now Irvine. Finally comes in from Lyons, and Sharp will jump here. And it drops for McMahon, who was looking for just that type of opening on the edge of the area. It was a hopeful up and under initially from Mike Lyons that Sharp competed for strongly. And then McMahon had a difficult volley and couldn't hit the target. Coppell switching wings for the first time. But it was Ainscough back defending. And it's Sharp against Moran. And Sharp goes on. Now, the linesman flags. The referee has given a free kick on the edge of the area. Sharp got away from Moran. Everton feel they should have had a penalty. Sharp threw himself well inside the area. Ross plays it in. The header is from Moran. And Bailey can come. And the Everton supporters continuing to show their disappointment that their side didn't get a penalty. Not a great deal of movement ahead of Wilkins, but he picks out Stapleton. Nicely down for McGarvey, and that shot was on target. Moses was impeded. And a free kick to Manchester United in a central position, right on the edge of the Everton area. They pulled everybody back. And United set a wall of their own, with McGarvey and Moses to try and help in the unsighting of Southall. It's Coppell who strikes it and scores! An important goal for Manchester United. The free kick taking a deflection of Trevor Ross. Certainly Everton have had more of the opening half hour going forward, without seriously testing Gary Bailey. The header from Higgins. Here's Wilkins. Robson looking for Coppell. Now Moses. Stapleton. The ball ran kindly for him then. And he looks to take on Ratcliffe. And runs it behind. Going through a spell at the moment, Frank Stapleton. It affects all players from time to time. He badly needs a stroke of good fortune to get back into the groove again. And Moran into the back of Sharp yet again. Higgins flicks it on. Lyons was in there. It'll reach Heath. And then Lyons. And Sharp. It's in. Graham Sharp will take the credit. The goal starting from the first free kick taken by Burrows. Higgins flicked it on. Lyons diverted it towards Heath and then reacted quickly to get the cross in himself as the ball ran loose. Sharp headed it and it went in off Moses. Certainly a testing finish to this first half for Manchester United. But Everton wasting the chance to keep the pressure on when Ainscough put the cross behind. The half-time whistle goes, with Manchester United having broken their drought in front of goal with Steve Coppell's free kick. But 2 minutes before half-time, Graham Sharp's header bringing Everton level. Half-time at Goodison Park then, it's Everton 1, Manchester United. United, who will certainly have been disappointed to have lost their lead just before half-time. Robson looks to try and restore it. Collecting well on his stronger left foot, Brian Robson, but Southall got a clear view of it. United coming here with 3 points very much in their minds to try and stay within range of Liverpool and Ipswich. Bailey having to collect as Heath tried to make a telling challenge as Sharp pulled it back. Coppell now on the right, taking on Ratcliffe. Still Coppell, beautifully done, brilliant goal. Or Coppell taking on Ratcliffe, turning him this way and that, past the second defender and catching it just right on the left foot. And with 2 minutes played in the second half, Manchester United are back in front. And for Steve Coppell, it's the second goal of the game. And I would think one that he'll remember a long time. Robson. Burrows covering. And then giving it straight to Stapleton. And Everton lacking concentration at the start of this second half, and they could be in trouble again with Stapleton. And certainly it's good news for England, the form of Steve Coppell, as the World Cup approaches. But here's Heath for Everton, and that was deflected. Sharp linking up with Heath. Just took a touch on its way through to Bailey. Mr. Saunders putting a word with the linesman. Now, looks as though the linesman is going off. Mr. McManus is replaced. Now that may well be something that was planned at half-time, because the substitute linesman is fully kitted out. Coppell's header. And Irvine is onside. And Everton massing in numbers in the middle. Duxbury stepped in a timely manner for Manchester United. Corner played short to Burrows. The crowd urging him to play it in. And Lyons made contact. And Lyons again! Everton come back a second time. And Mike Lyons, having made the first, scores the second. His first header looped the ball up, Sharp got it back, and the volley was precision. And Manchester United lose a lead for the second time. With 10 minutes of the second half played. A foul against Wilkins, who protests that his shirt was being pulled. Heath gives chase. And Manchester United again punished for some uncertainty in the air in their back four in front of Gary Bailey. Goodman. Here's Koppel. Or can he do a trick a third time for Manchester United? The chance comes for Grimes. And it's in. Ashley Grimes. And look at the way they run to congratulate him. A player who's had such a terrible time, first with injury and then with illness. Robson found him in acres of space. It was a bit of a slice from Grimes, but it defeated Southall. Incredibly, it's 3-2. And here's Stapleton, who struck it first time and tried to dip it over Southall. Meanwhile, Ron Atkinson has come down from his seat in the stand. Moran. The substitute linesman is Harry Sheriff, a retired referee who looks after the match officials here at Goodison Park. In fact, it's the second time he's had to come on, and the news from the dressing room is that Mr. McManus has a pulled muscle. Now Koppel, understandably shooting on sight with the reward that he's had in this game. But this time unable quite to get the power to trouble Southall. Throw given to United. Mugabe offside again. Sharp covered a lot of ground to reach the free kick. Here's Ainscough. And United uncertain at the back again. But they got away with it then. As Ainscough just rolled it across the face of the goal. In fact, yeah, United have been much more effective when they've gone forward in numbers. And they may well be better advised trying to add to their lead rather than sit on it. Koppel. And McGarvey frustrated. Sharp, cleverly guiding it for Heath. Oh! Well, can this game have any more twists? Adrian Heath from 30 yards. Sharp knocked it down for him, and Bailey was beaten really by the bounce of it. McGarvey. Wilkins, but Lyons will not be denied. Sharp's in the middle. This is Irvine. Now Ross, closed down quickly by Wilkins, but he was late with the tackle. And the notebook is out. The name of Ray Wilkins is recorded. As a precaution, one would think. Paul Lodge warms up for Everton. Trevor Ross all right again. So here's McMahon. And Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe making Burrows check back, and giving Manchester United the chance to regroup. Again, Sharp doing well in the air. Read the mind of McGarvey, predicted which way he was going to turn. Robson leaving Ross. Stapleton in the middle, but it doesn't reach him. Robson has a second chance to play it in. Finally comes in from Koppel, and that was Albiston, and then Wilkins, and Southall grateful as the ball spun up dangerously off a defender from Wilkins' shot. But the action switches to the other end with Sharp, and Bailey has to be quick off his line. And now Albiston, past McMahon. Here's Grimes again. And the cross from McGarvey, and good defending by Kevin Ratcliffe. Arguably the most flowing move of the match. Wilkins doing well to get the cross back in when the angle was against him. And he took a nasty fall. McGarvey was looking in the direction of Grimes. Albiston. Good touch from McGarvey. Albiston's cross, and this is Stapleton and Robson. Well, Southall dropped so quickly to his right to stop Manchester United taking the lead for a fourth time. Robson's instant shot, and what a response from Southall. And that might have been Manchester United's last chance of turning 1 point into 3. But here's McGarvey, and it's a United free kick, so there are still possibilities. And the scoring, of course, started when Steve Coppell struck from a position not too dissimilar in the first half. Everton have set their wall, and in front of them, Manchester United have done the same. And Coppell tries, but they're not falling for the same trick twice. Mark Higgins flung himself into the way. This is Gidman. The linesman's flagging. Moran had his eye on the ball. So too did Southall. And it was a fearsome collision. And as it turned out, an irrelevant one, because an offside decision had already been given. And as one would expect, it was a wholehearted challenge from Kevin Moran. And Southall took the brunt of it. The Everton players still looking to see who's going to take the jersey. Mike Lyons has responsibilities in these situations and will go in goal. Paul Lodge will come on. Howard Kendall gives the instructions about reorganising in front of Lyons. And Neville Southall still out cold. But Manchester United must sense, if there's time, an opportunity perhaps for one last frantic effort here to produce a win that they need so desperately if their championship hopes are to have any substance at all. And the final whistle goes, ironically, on a day when Manchester United rediscovered their scoring touch. 2 of their 3 goals for Steve Coppell. They found a vulnerability at the back. Mike Lyons, who finishes the game as an emergency goalkeeper, scoring himself and laying on another in a very persistent Everton performance. The boos really are unfounded. The game, one of high entertainment, and it finishes Everton 3, Manchester United 3.
It was Nick Pickering who grabbed the equaliser and then believed he'd scored the winner, only to see his goal ruled out for offside. The Roker revival has also coincided with the return to the attack of 19-year-old Colin West. He pleaded with Durban for the chance to play and has kept his word with 3 goals in 4 games. Everton manager Howard Kendall insists it's been the team's results that have been inconsistent recently, not their form. They did Sunderland few favours in midweek when they lost at Coventry after impressively winning their 2 previous away games. Everton make 3 changes from that defeat. Billy Wright returns to the defence in preference to Mike Lyons, who's the sub, and Kevin Richardson replaces Trevor Ross. And Mick Ferguson plays his first full game in attack for 6 months instead of the injured Graham Sharp. Today's referee, Michael Peck from Kendal in Cumbria. It's exactly 12 months since Sunderland won a game at Roker Park on a Saturday afternoon, and how desperately they need to break that duck against Everton this afternoon. Higgins beaten by West, but Wright is able to sweep up, though Cummins was right there and made him opt for the safety of touch. The line for West, Higgins right there with him, but Cummins can take it up now. He's got a yard on them, and Wright was covering, but Cummins got away then. With a mistake there, West, a brilliant save by Southall after the mistake by Higgins, But West, who's been in goal-scoring form recently, was sharp to get the shot in. The original mistake was by Higgins. It came to West, his shot quickly though, and Southall parried. Higgins, and he'll be booked for that after being penalised for the foul on Gary Rowell. Mark Higgins booked for the display of disagreement by kicking the ball away. So Mick Buckley lining up the free kick. All the Sunderland players, apart from Cummins at the far post. Hindmarch was going towards it. Rowell, he scored. Gary Rowell. And Gary Rowell has been winding up for that one. Not the first time Rowell's got on the end of a ball, hoisted deep into the Everton box. Buckley's free kick. Rowell came in there unmarked, and Southall had little chance. West now, it's fallen for Rowell, but offside. No, it's already blown for the free kick, just though it might have been offside given, but in fact the free kick is to Sunderland. Must have blown for the earlier offence. So the advantage still definitely with Sunderland. As Everton line up their wall. Rowell is on the end of it. Still not back the required distance. Buckley for Cummins. Straight back off the wall. Chisholm tries one, and not far away either. The first effort at goal Gordon Chisholm has had, and that's perhaps indicative of the positive attitude Sunderland have had here. That free kick ricocheting to him, and he brought it down well and tried the first time effort. Elliott. Back for Ferguson though. Carl McMahon. Burrows. Heath. But he was offside. Cummins. Oh, that's a mistake there. Irvine, Turner. That's a goal for Everton. A terrible mistake in the middle of the Sunderland defence and gifted there for Everton. And Irvine snapped up the chance. Stan Cummins, the danger wasn't there, but that was a poor pass. They were all caught off balance. And Irvine slid in, and Turner just couldn't hold it back. Hindmarch and Wright pumping it back into the middle. And the referee blows the half-time whistle, and when Sunderland had looked to be in some control after Gary Rowell had given them the lead after 17 minutes, Everton have got back onto level terms after a bad mistake in the middle of the Sunderland defence by Cummins, and Irvine was in there to net the equaliser. So the whole balance of this game has changed radically in the last 5 minutes, but at half-time the scoreline is Sunderland 1, Everton. Gary Rowell, who put Sunderland into the lead. And Stan Cummins, I wonder what he said to his teammates after really setting up the chance for Everton to equalise. But it's Sunderland who get the second half underway, attacking the goal to our left. And though for most of the first half, they really looked a far more convincing outfit than they have done for so long at Roker Park this season. In fact, it's remarkable to note that the current run of 4 games without defeat is Sunderland's best run since they returned to the First Division at the beginning of last season. Cummins. And a good move that. Hinnigan on the overlap. West, handball surely by Billy Wright, penalty. And he'll get booked as well. And Billy Wright, who in the same game last season scored an own goal, gives Sunderland the penalty. Southall was committed, West hooked it back, and there was Wright to turn it away with his hand. So West denied the goal, but the pressure transferred, I expect, to Gary Rowell, although the referee is having a word with the linesman on the far side. It's still a penalty, much to the relief of the Roker crowd, and the pressure goes to Gary Rowell. Still arguments with Wright. The point explained by Mr. Peck, but Gary Rowell, who hauled Sunderland back into the game at Tottenham in midweek with a penalty, has the responsibility now to restore his team's lead. He's converted 2 penalties already this season. No mistake whatsoever. Gary Rowell puts Sunderland back into the lead. Nine minutes gone in the second half. And as cool a penalty as you could get, tucked right into that corner by Gary Rowell. Again. Ainscough felled there. Guy Buckley. Towards Ferguson, Hindmarch jumping well, Hennigan gets it clear, but McMahon went straight to Cummins though, and Buckley takes it up. Cummins, he's not offside. Some appeals from the Everton defenders, but Stan Cummins for Sunderland. West is in the middle, West again, he's given it. West makes it 3-1. And West has done it again. Cummins, a fine break down the right, and a good cross in as well. West came through powerfully. Southall kept the first effort out, but West followed up. A bit of a flurry there between Ferguson and Elliott. The referee had spotted it because he's having a quick word with Ferguson. Unobtrusively, but positively. Munro. Good work by Munro for Pickering, who thrusts forward. Still with Pickering, he might try one. Oh, fine save. And Southall happy to hack that one clear, but only as far as Buckley. Rowell jumping, but couldn't direct the header on target. And Everton are going to bring on their substitute. Man coming off is Alan Irvine. And it's their veteran stalwart Mick Lyons coming on. Irvine going off, and Lyons coming on, and straight away Lyons will go forward into the attack. McMahon. Burrows. Ainscough. Direct free kick to Everton. Just 5 minutes left in the game. Quickly taken. McMahon. All the Sunderland players back in their own penalty area. Burrows and away by Chisholm. Ratcliffe into the middle. Ferguson's jumping for it. Falls to Richardson. Back off the post. A fine snapshot by Kevin Richardson. Rebounding back off the post, it's still not clear. McMahon, Heath, McMahon again, Burrows. McMahon, who's seen so much of the ball this afternoon. Burrows trying to work the opening, aim towards Lyons at the far post. Elliott, Lyons getting it back. Difficult one for the keeper with Ferguson right there, but the foul by the big centre forward on the goalkeeper. But a narrow escape a few moments ago for the Sunderland defence, and the ball played out to Kevin Richardson, and a really fierce first-time effort that rebounded off the post and was scrambled to safety. Higgins, there goes the final whistle, and Alan Durbin goes off knowing his side have gained 3 invaluable points. It was Colin West who got the 3rd goal and gave Sunderland the breathing space after Gary Rowell had scored 2 goals, the second from the penalty spot. So a vital victory this for Sunderland, who deserve the 3 points. And the Sunderland team go into the dressing room to celebrate, and the fans can reflect that First Division football next season is still a possibility at Roker Park. The final scoreline reading Sunderland 3, Everton 1.